Welcome to episode 47 of the Perspective Podcast. We're back again, same setup, and we're here. We are here, we're alive and well. We've just revived. We have revived. Last week was insane. I've never had less sleep in my life in a week, and it was going down every single day. Usually, I'm like a guy who has 8 hours, 7 hours of sleep, but because of work and content work, battling and balancing both of them, there's no such thing as balance in that type of sense, especially during Christmas season. If you don't know, I work as a bartender, so I've been working like a slave, like a madman during this period, just to make drinks for strangers. That's the beautiful life of just working as a bartender. And I'll be honest, I don't like it. For someone who doesn't even drink like that, so to be in an environment like with just alcohol, it throws me off. It really does throw me off. But I made my bed, I gotta lay in it. So I can't be complaining because it's something that's putting food on the table. But if I'm making food on the table from making videos, and why am I still there? It's a question that I get asked all the time. Why are you here? Or why are you still there if this is just your second job? I don't know. Why am I here? Like when I get told why am I there, it's such a real question. Like it actually hits like why am I still here? But man, why am I still there? Got to put food on the table and help. Really got to. Unless that urge for me to make that risk to quit will happen, then at this point, not yet, because we've done that twice, and we've ended up going back twice. So it's to the point I'm like, okay, I'm a bit scared to make that move because if it's happened twice and for me to go back twice, then surely it's just not the time for me to do that. Like, what is your boy doing wrong? You know what I mean? But it's with all these trials and tribulations, there's always something at the light of the tunnel that will get you to a better place. So yeah, that's some things that I've been battling: lack of sleep, direction crisis, mental crisis, and just going through the chaos because it's been ridiculous. But we're still here, we're still alive, we're well, we're healthy. Had 10 hours of sleep last night. It was needed. Even though I woke up still feeling a bit tired, I felt on top of the world because 10 hours of sleep, bro, that's perfect. Yesterday, I went to go and see my nephew, and bro, I love my nephew so much, man. He's really growing. He's growing to be a big man. Like, he's already walking. He's just speaking, saying whatever he needs to say now, whatever's on his mind. He's just speaking. His eyes light up when he's seeing cars go past, and it's crazy because I wrote on my journal about me liking cars or just Formula One cars, and for him to actually like that stuff now, it's like, yo, it may be just embedded in the family, like it really may just be embedded in the family tree. But shout out to my cousin, well, shout out to my nephew because he's the goat and I love him and he's growing every day. One thing that breaks my heart, yeah, always, so it's funny, but it breaks my heart when every time I'm leaving, right? He's always like watching. But this time, because he's like crawling more and walking, yeah. So I'm like saying bye to everyone. He's following me, yeah. And bro, I've got to open and close the door, and he's right, like he's following me to the door. I'm thinking, bro, like you can't make this up. Like it's crazy how things just happen. Because when I last saw him, he was not doing that. But now he's like he's doing his own thing, bro. Like it's just mad seeing your relative, like your nephew, your nieces, or your siblings just grow. Because, bro, my nephew, bro, he was the size of he was genuinely like the size of my hand. Like from from here to like here, like he was in my arm, bro. And the fact that he's just grown to be his own personality, walking, flipping, doing whatever he wants to do, screaming, shouting, throwing things. The babies have ridiculous strength. Babies have ridiculous strength. But yeah, shout out to my nephew, yeah, Cairo. Shout out to my nephew, man. He's the goat. Anyone who has nephews or nieces, siblings, young ones, whatever, go and spend time with them because it's actually very precious. Like you do not want to miss their moments because they're growing. There's always going to be some new update that you've missed out on because I promise you will not be the same as last time. So yeah, go and see your relatives, bro, because life is just speeding up. Life is actually just speeding up, which is crazy. We're really getting older. We're getting older day by day. It's nearly Christmas. Christmas is in 2 weeks. The thought of that makes me sick. The thought of that makes me sick. I've got like Christmas presents nearly done. I need to get my nephew something and my sister something. Maybe my sister's partner. But I've other than that, I've actually been okay with gifts this year. I've used that Black Friday season well by getting Mumsy some gifts. I don't think she watches the podcast, but if she does, then it's tough. They got her a ring doorbell, and I got her some Jordans. So she's living, she's living. She's becoming a sneakerhead now. So it's like makes perfect sense to go get her some shoes. What does everyone want for Christmas this year? I feel like Christmas has fallen off, like the part of wanting gifts. Does that come with age? Like as you get older, you just don't like the need for wanting gifts is not really there. Like I'm happy with socks and boxes, but I had to make that move and do it myself because no one was getting me that stuff. Christmas last year, nobody got me boxes or socks. I was actually more annoyed. No one got me boxes or socks, and no one got me Lynx Africa. None of that, bro. None of that. But I did get Astro vinyl. And what else did my sister get? I got something else. But other than that, boxes of socks are essential. But but yeah, the art of like giving for Christmas is like, well, I love giving things, but I don't really care about receiving things for Christmas. I'd rather have that time to just spend with family or to just eat good food and just to chill out because this life is hectic. So that day to just eat, drink, socialize with family and just to have a good time. That's what makes everything worth it. But all that other stuff couldn't give a toss. But if I was to want something for Christmas this year, I'd actually say it's the most random and specific thing. There's a couple things, a speaker, because we need to get a new speaker. Phew. The one that we've been using, it's been in use for 10 years. It's the sound system on that speaker is depleting, if that's a word. Depleting. I think it's just getting worse. It's getting worse. That's the speaker that I use when I'm tapping into artists, bro. And I don't know how it still works. It's a system that still works. But yeah, new speaker. I want a whiteboard so I can write stuff on, so I can actually see and place it like right there. So during the day I could just look and just see because I've got post-it notes and I put it on my laptop. I love to write things. I genuinely would love to be on a writer someday, or just to write as like a job because, bro, I could write for days. And it's crazy that I never used to like writing during high school or uni. I used to hate it. Like during the exam period where you just write or just do all that stuff, I used to hate it. I did get a good grade in English literature, got grade five. So, I mean, five is five is like decent enough, but I loved like anything with writing. That's my bag. I love that stuff. I love that stuff. But yeah, it's mad how as you get older, you realize how important it is to write. It's very important. You gotta get your stuff down. You gotta get your ideas out there. I'd rather write than to type because there's something beautiful about writing, making a mistake and then writing it down. You know what I mean? Like there's something perfect about that. And I know I've gone off track on this podcast, but yeah, I want a whiteboard and I want at the gym where it's like a belt that you can put weight on. Yeah, I need that because, bro, I'm getting bigger. I'm getting bigger. And when I'm doing my pull ups, bro, I'm doing 20 sets. And, bro, to make it difficult, I need some more weight. So it's like, it's that period we need to increase the weight because I'm trying to be intentional with this gym work. Well, we always are, but, it's gotta stay with it and get better and grow and just stay consistent because that's all that matters. Because, boy, there's nothing better than having a good body, eating good food, drinking your water, getting your calories in, and looking at yourself in the mirror and thinking, yeah, we're so back. There's actually nothing better. Like your testosterone shoots the fuck like there's nothing better than that. Honestly, guys, get your workouts going, drink your water, take care of your skin, take care of yourself because when you look at yourself in the mirror, bro, you'll be thinking, you know what? Maybe we are looking a little bit good. Maybe we are because it's that delayed gratification that you put into yourself every day that in a couple months' time or when that day comes, you just look at yourself and be like, okay, we're doing something. And it literally all starts from within and it all comes out. So, yeah, just think about that. Songs that I've been feeling a lot this year, like songs that have just been my favorites. And it still is Any McGee song. Two Star and the Dream Police was my most streamed album this year. and I'm not surprised. I listened to it, I think over 1,000 minutes. At over 1,000 minutes, it's a phenomenal album. I will always say, if you've not watched it, go and tap into the album because it's amazing. Like T Star on the Dream Police is phenomenal. Like you should go listen to it. My favorite song off the album. See, it says that my most played song on that album was How Many Miles. It is a phenomenal song, but I do feel like my favorite is either Little Bit More or You Got It. And Little Bit More was my second most streamed one because Little Bit More is amazing. That song reminds me of Christmas period when I was listening to the album even more. I went on a run, like a 25K run, because it's Christmas, so like me as well. I went on a run, right? And there was like a sunrise, and a little bit more came on, and bro, I was levitating. I was genuinely levitating because of how good that was. Listening to good music while on a run is amazing. And as well, when I was in America, well, I've already explained this, but being in America, listening to Two Star Dream Police, especially the song Break the Spell, phenomenal. It's amazing. Like it's beautiful. Facts. But yeah, Two Star Dream Police, still listening to that a lot. Sam Fender dropped his deluxe album for people watching, and I've been listening to that. There's a song called The Treadmill. That song was good. There's one called like Fortune as well, really good. My favorite is still Me and the Dog because that song is phenomenal. If you don't know, that song came out last year as like a single, and Tyrants as well dropped as a single. Tyrants is good. It sounds a bit country like. It sounds different to his usual music, but Me and the Dog is just that one. Like you have to listen to it if you haven't. And I've also been listening to this song. I got it on my notes somewhere. Volto Di Donna, right? And it's this song that has this amazing trumpet. It sounds beautiful, bro. Like honestly, when I don't know if it's just me, but when something good is going on in your life, right? Or when things are going on in your life, do you have like a song that is playing in your head or like a sound instrumental to any song? Because when I left seeing my nephew, right, I just had this like warm, good feeling. And then as I was in the elevator, right, I'll go into the elevator. As soon as I press the button to go to the ground floor, the song just pops into my head and it just plays and I'm thinking what is this song, and I remember it was on like my TikTok sounds. I literally had to go all the way to TikTok sound to find it, but I'm gonna just play it a little bit because there's just something about it that just sounds phenomenal. Like it sounds really good, bro. Like it really does sound warm. Bro, what? That sounds amazing. That like that really just it's the definition of just like life is good right now, even during the chaos. And it's mad how you can even still feel like that even when your life is just shit. It's mad how much music can make an impact on your mood, but that song there, it's so amazing, bro. What else have I also been listening to? Thames, Love is a Kingdom. I think it's that. Yeah, she dropped the EP Love is a Kingdom. And my favorite song on that one is either See It's Changed. I really like What You Need. I also really like Is There a Reason? But I also really like there's another one, Mine. Yeah. So, yeah, bro, those three songs on that EP, brilliant. Especially What You Need. It's just different. It has more of an R&B vibe, and you know me, I'm a fiend for R&B. But then, Is There a Reason? It's just beautiful. Again, it makes you reminisce life. Having a song that just has a good guitar riff, you can't go wrong with it. It's very simple. It's not too much. It's just really nice. I also like the intro first. Like she has this flow on the second verse that is just it's just top tier, very top tier. But yeah, shout out to Thames, bro. She needs to do a tour again because I want to see her again. We've already seen her, but you know I want to see her again because her music is beautiful. It's so good. But yeah, that's one I'll be listening to, as well as the old EP, The Fool That Saved Us. I think that's what it's called. But yeah, that one, amazing. Especially the song Reason. Perfect. It's mad how if a song has a name Reason, it's just automatically gonna be platinum. I've re-listened to Givian's album. What is it called again? Beloved. Yeah, because me and my boy are going to see him. It's crazy how this even happened. So we were at the gym, right? And we were just thinking about Givian's we were just talking about Givian's music, and I mentioned that he's going on tour. We were like, imagine just stepping up to your show, just wearing a suit, like wearing a brown suit, just like his tour in a mink jacket. And then we're thinking, wait, why don't we just go there? Bro, that is like a core memory. Like things like that. And then, bro, we literally just got tickets. I was the one who looked at the seats if there's still tickets available. And then, bro, we literally just got the tickets and like, that's a perfect idea. It makes you realize that I have things to look forward to in life because if you don't, then you'll be depressed, bro. Like, have little things to look forward to in life, have little things to to do with your friends or just to do with your loved ones because it really does make life worth it, even if it's spontaneous. But like, do it because it's worth it, bro. That is the luxury of having your people, even just doing it on your own. Do them things, go to them concerts, go to them places. I was at work and then someone at work with was saying that has never been to a concert. What are we doing here? If you are watching this podcast and you've never been to a concert or a festival, go to one. Like, please go to one. It's one of the best experiences ever. Having things to look forward to with your loved ones or your people is beautiful because it really does make things worth it. For example, like a lad's holiday, like you'll be looking forward to that holiday, and the day before or a week before, you have your outfit plan. Is that when we were in primary school, you have like the outfit that you're gonna wear like on the bed or something because you know that you're gonna put that fit on. It's mad how we literally all live the same life with that type of stuff, but it just does make sense. Have that little thing to look forward to, even if, say, for example, you're being disciplined for the week, but then as a treat on a weekend, you're gonna have like chocolate or sweets or something. Have that little thing to look forward to because it's worth it. It really is worth it. I think it's really that way of rewarding yourself because you've worked hard. So now you can actually just appreciate the fruit of your labor. Yeah, man, that is so cool. But now, honestly, like you gotta enjoy the fruit of your labor because, bro, it is not easy out here. It's not. It's not. Those are songs that I've been listening to a lot recently. I've still been listening to Keo. Like Keo is such a good band, and the song Dawn, they just don't miss. And Daniel Caesar's album Son of Spurgie. I said it in a video, but I do think that's my favorite album by him because there's just something about the album. It just sounds really good from top to bottom. The transitions from just the lake stream sound. It's perfect. It really makes you feel. It makes you have the equity. Listen to that album because it does not miss one bit. Not one tone misses, and yeah, it's perfect. Especially the song "Sins of the Father," "Who Knows," "Touching God," "Rain on Me," or "Rain Down." Rain on me, rain down, have a baby, call on me, like, bro, moon, like, I can go on. Like, the album is perfect. Root of all evil. It's a perfect album, and it just does not miss. Like, I could actually make another video again talking about that album, but I've already done it. I've already done it. We've already done it. But yeah, listen to the album if you haven't. On this podcast called Perspective, I like to talk about different perspectives or my perspectives. And the one thing I haven't really spoken about is my origin story or just me or my growing up or just how, just like a deep cut into myself and just how things were growing up in my adolescent years. And boy, oh boy, we are here for a treat. This may be really short or this may be really long. We've been filming this podcast. This recording has been going on for how many minutes? It's been going on for 22 minutes. So we're gonna see how long this takes, right? So my adolescence, well, my origin story. I was born in Leicester, 24th of September 2002, and my mom came to UK from Zimbabwe because she wanted me to have a better life. And it's mad that she did not even know that she was pregnant. So I was technically an accident. I was technically an accident because she just did not know that I was even in her belly while she was on that flight. But yeah, so she came to UK because she wanted a better life for my older sister so that she can come to UK. But then she came to UK and she just finds out that she's pregnant and her whole life just changed. And it's actually crazy. Like it's mad how you can have your own plan and do your own thing, and then things can just change, and you actually have no choice but to just accept it. But yeah, basically, yeah. So she comes to UK, whatever, and she's preparing to have a kid, me, and she's working a lot. And growing up, obviously being born in Leicester, but then I don't know what age I was, but we moved to Birmingham, and it was just me, her, most of the time. Not even most of the time, all the time. She was always working a lot though, so I was always at school or one of my aunties or something. But yeah, It was just me and my mom. My father wasn't really there growing up. So yeah, single parent mom. She was doing two jobs. She would do a day job and then she'd do a night job. So I don't really have that much of a vivid memory with like my mom while I was growing up because she was always working. It's kind of sad, but it had to be done. It had to be done, and I don't have any resentment, and I'm very grateful that I was able to just understand it at a young age. I don't think I was ever that type of kid that was angry or upset at my mom for always working. Like it had to be done. Like of course I'd want to spend time with her, so I would just like annoy her or some shit. But like I never really was that kid that was very entitled to, like to spend that time. But yeah, that was in my younger years. It was a lot of mom just working, putting food on the table, doing a lot of sacrifices. And my sister then came to UK, and it was just me and my sister. Like growing up as well, we lived in like three houses. This is our three houses, was it? Three houses in just different locations in Birmingham. And this is our third and last one until I move out. But yeah, so moved into this house in 2008 and been living here since. And it's just been a beautiful place to grow up to, just to learn, to develop, to be rebellious, to break rules, but as well to just have this house turn into a home, turn into a home as I age and as I grow. This house has just been everything. But yeah, growing up, I've always been around music. My mom, that's if I was gonna say one thing that I remember during my youth years of my mom, right? She'd always listen to music. She'd always either listen to like she used to always listen to Michael Jackson. She'd always used to listen to this band. I forgot what they're called. Blue. I think it's called. It's like a UK British band. Yes, it's called Blue. Yeah, she always used to listen to this band called Blue. She'd always listen to music. She'd always listen to John Legend. That was her favorite artist as well. So I'd always hear her music. That's why I like his album Get Lifted. I really want to get the vinyl, by the way. But yeah, she'd always listen to an artist called Craig David. But it was just a lot of like music that was around, and then Black Eyed Peas, and then yeah. But I got put onto Black Eyed Peas, but that was my favorite group growing up. But I've always been around music, so that's probably why I'm obsessed with music because I was just always around that. When mom was at home, I just hear music all the time. Like I used to love going to McDonald's when they used to do them little like when you used to get a Happy Meal, and with a Happy Meal, it used to come with them little toys, and them little toys it come with that you like it have a song in that you can just play. And I remember one used to be, what's that female group called? The Saturdays or something. The Saturdays, and it's like, can we bring yesterday back around? Cause I know how I feel about you now. Like I used to love them Happy Meal like toys because they'd always have some songs or something. And I used to feed off that. Like I used to use that all the time. But yeah, I used to just love music all the time. I used to love music. During primary school, I used to play the clarinet. Fun fact, like I was just obsessed with just music. Used to play clarinet. I used to own a guitar. I threw it away. Horror decision. I don't know why I did, but yeah, I just used to love instruments. I used to love all that stuff, music, anything with music. My favorite band growing up was Black Eyed Peas. My favorite artist as a young and was like Chris Brown. I'd always listen to like that time music, like just Black Eyed Peas, Chris Brown, and then who else would I always listen to? It was just very melodic, but I've always just around music all the time. And yeah, that was really my growing up. Primary school, I was just that one kid. I was that tallest one in primary school and basically high school. Primary school was, I didn't really, did I enjoy primary school? You know what? I had a good primary school experience. It wasn't anything major. I was always chill. I think I've always been that chill one. I used to have this girlfriend in primary school. Yeah. Shout out to her if she's whatever she's doing. But yeah, primary school was nothing crazy. But then high school, my high school experience was a bit weird. Like, when people say like they'd do anything to go back, I don't think I would. I don't think high school to me was anything crazy either. because I was like that. I wasn't a popular kid in high school, nor was I unpopular. I was always just that guy in the middle. Like everyone literally knew me as that tall, lanky kid. Honestly, bro, being called lanky was like that was definitely an insecurity because I used to hate it. I got called lanky the other day at work, and it really just it brought PTSD. Like it made my eyes twitch. Like I genuinely like, yeah, I used to be insecure about my weight because I was just tall, skinny, and had some big afro. So that afro was like up to here, so it just put more inches onto my height. But yeah, I was always just known as that kid in high school. Never got bullied, but I used to get taken the piss out of. But that's like character development that I'm kind of grateful that I went through because it's like if you don't go through that during high school, then you're gonna suffer during your 20s. And thank God because we do content. So imagine if you didn't go through all of that. And gratefully, we don't go. I don't see hate comments on my videos. Surprisingly, we don't really see any hate comments. The only hate-ish comments is when people are talking about their music opinion, which is completely different to what I like, which is cool. That's just your opinion. But yeah, high school I used to get taken piss out of like all that stuff. Like who wouldn't? But it wasn't to the point that it was bullying. But the old years never really used to get along with me that much. Like I always used to have this different type of vibe with people in high school, and I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna do my own thing, listen to my music, get my bus to school, come back, listen to my music, and just like chill out, play Xbox or PlayStation. My favorite game was Modern Warfare 3. Like I'd play that game, that whole map era when you're in Paris. I used to like sweat off that part of the game, like every part, love it. And FIFA, loved FIFA. Like those type of games were mine. But yeah, I'll always be that kid that would be home, playing my games, listening to music while playing games. Like I was that kid that will have music blasted from the speaker while playing games with you or something. Like I was that guy, but of course you have to be respectful and not make it too loud. But yeah, that was literally just that high school part. I was a bit rebellious when we was in like year 9 to year 11. I was throwing house parties when my mom and my sister would be out, and I got caught this one time. I got caught this one time by my sister. Well, looking back now, bro, of course I got caught because we drank all the drinks that mom got, not even anything that I paid for. So she was obviously pissed because it's like, yo, why are you drinking all of my drinks? But hey, man, the game's the game. Was grounded the whole summer, but still ended up having little house parties, and she still does not know till this day. So like, I think during that, like, you have to be a bit rebellious. You have to be a bit rebellious and break the rules a little bit because it makes you realize that like. I don't know. There's just something about that, like those youth years. Like you need that moment because if you don't, then what? Like, yeah, what are you doing really? But looking back now, I'd never do that shit. Like I don't like people coming to my house unless you're my friend or unless like I actually know you like that because there's just something about this place having your own home. I don't just want a lot of people here. I think I appreciate the own sanity of my place. But yeah, growing up, even though it was just me, my mom, and sister, I've always been a bit reserved or an observant person, a person who just observes. I wasn't really that type of person that was too outgoing. Like I'd go to a few like parties here and there. Fun fact, I wasn't really invited to like house parties all the time. I was just usually just at home listening to music, playing my video games and just chilling. Like I was not that popular guy or whatever. So when I was getting an invite to that house party, I was like, yeah. But I'd also be thinking, what the fuck do people do that? Like I was so out of touch with that stuff. But yeah, my high school experience was alright. Don't even think I was in a relationship with anyone. Yes, I was actually. I was in one relationship, but yeah, I was in one relationship. Got embarrassed the fuck out of because I had this crush on this one girl, right? And everyone baited that I had a crush on her. I don't even know who I told, but yeah, that ridiculous. But yeah, high school was a good experience. But if you were to ask me, would I go back and relive it? Nah. There's a few moments that are very funny, but I don't think I'd ever go back or want to like relive like high school again because want some other shit now. Like don't you think it's weird when people say that they love to go back to this high school are the people that peaked in high school? It's kind of weird, but the people that think, oh, I wouldn't go back are the ones that are on some like new better stuff now than when they were before because Thank God I wasn't in my peak in high school. Because it's so crazy that the people that were like peak in high school, they've like dipped down in life. And it's mad how when you're in your peak in high school, you have to maintain that aura because you could either sink or you can continue to thrive. And some people, majority of the time, they just sink. There's only a few minority people after high school that still hold that aura or still have that like good vibe from. That's so true. That is actually really true. But yeah, I wasn't really that much of a popular kid in high school. Thank God I wasn't because ugh, thank God I was not. I don't even know what got me to like create content either. Actually, no, because during high school or primary school, high school, end of primary school is when I started to like watch YouTube or just watch all them videos. And I used to start watching like KSI with like his Q&A Sundays. Like I would love watching YouTube. I was that type of guy that would like know the time structure and like whenever they'd upload a video, especially Sidemen. They'd upload a video like either 4 p.m., 5 p.m., 6 p.m., those times, and I'd get them notifications. Bro, like I was always onto watching their videos and I don't watch YouTube as much. Actually, tell her I do, but I don't watch them type of videos no more. I was always that type of guy that was watching concert videos of like Travis, Drake, or just anyone in the music realm. I'd watch music reactions, Mallory Bros, Sean C. Like I wouldn't really watch Anthony Fan or whatever you call him. I wouldn't really watch him. Yeah, just that type of stuff. Like I've always been into the music stuff growing up. So it makes sense why we do this stuff now because it's just been embedded since a young age to just because it's what I've been seeing. But yeah, I've always been a man who just loved watching concert stuff, music stuff, because there's just something out of this world. And I was that type of guy that when I go to a concert, I know what the set list is gonna be, and it's kind of weird and obsessive. But hey, I just like the music that I just want to watch it. You know what I mean? I just want to watch it. But then we had college, and college was like I've always loved sports, and I've always just loved that type of element, which is just like workout or just sports, running. And then college came, did sports therapy, got my good distinction in that. Wait, what? I got a distinction, merit. No, distinction star, merit, which is valid. And then went into uni, did sports therapy. Wanted to do physiotherapy, but apparently didn't have good enough grades to even do that because you needed you needed a triple D, and I only had one D. Did sports therapy at uni, and I've always just been into like that sports or just that therapeutic type of stuff with sports or just fitness and just overall health. No wonder why I'm so like tapped into all this stuff. But yeah, I've always been into that. So then graduated that last year, and now one on that route of like uni, I've always been thinking, what do I want to do in my life if not this? And it's weird how that thought came to me while I was on holiday on a lad's holiday. We went to Portugal, and it was when Rolling Loud was going on, and I remember like just this is the time where I started writing my journal, and I was thinking, what do I want to do in my life? Because if not this, then what would we want to do? And it was really just that like creating content element, like just something creative, something doing something like posting a video, and then while on holiday was like, why don't we just do it? And put it off for a little bit, and then went to Reading, and then that was when it all started. Like literally just getting yourself out there, going to different places, and it's mad how going to that I was on my own, and it pushed me to do something bigger than I. Because when you're in a position of not knowing what to do, that's the beautiful thing of it. It's the journey, and I'm so grateful for the opportunity to just take that risk, bro. We really went to a festival on our own at the age of 19 to one of the biggest festivals in the UK. Like I don't what was I on at the age of 19? And honestly, those little risks that we did at a young age, it really does it stays in you, and you got to keep the leveling up with the risk that you take. Because bro, I could do that with ease now. It's not really that much of a risk, and it's crazy that when you've done that, it's really okay, what's next? And it increases your risk tolerance. I think that's how you call it. Like if you've done one risk and it's gone successful, you're thinking, okay, like if you do it again, it won't be as riskful because you've done it. So you really have to get out of your comfort zone and do something, because it will just keep growing and growing. So yeah, I'm very grateful for that experience because it got us to where we are now, to taking more risks, to even sneaking into concerts and all festivals, whatever. But yeah, it's those little things that take you far from just that feeling. But yeah, that's when it really started for me to want to create content, bro. Just at the age of 19, at uni, thinking, okay, what's going on in life? What is really going on? Friendships. I've always had my friends from high school. They've always been there. Was low key in like a not a bad friendship, but I've always had those friends that like I know that you're not good for me long term, so I just like distance myself from you. I think that's like the friendships that I've had during like my high school years, especially even college. Really, uni was like wasn't as major. I wasn't out as much. I was always indoors, just doing something, going to the gym, doing something, doing my assignment, always doing something or creating content or something like that. Actually, during my uni years, I was in a relationship, so I was just always with my girl at the time, and yeah, what? So yeah, being in a relationship really held me down because I didn't really get myself out there or do all that stuff, which I'm actually kind of glad because, you know, I don't really want to do all that stuff. You know what I mean? I don't want to. Rather just stay disciplined and just get things done. And I realize now that when I'm like off track, even if it's just for one day, but I can just be a bit hard on myself because it's like what we're doing here. Like we're on this pursuit of greatness and we don't have the time to be like losing track, but it's gonna happen. Can be a bit hard on myself, which it's a blessing and a curse because you need to give yourself a little kick of what you're actually doing, but then you need to just as at least you're aware of that situation of what's going on, and that's all I can say. But that's really my growing up years wasn't anything crazy. I don't think I had like a ridiculous moment in my adolescent years. I was always indoors, just listening to music, playing games, just chilling with mom, annoying her all the time. Never really had a father figure, which is kind of sad, but never really had a father figure. And obviously, like, yeah, my father figure was low key had to be my mom, because she was always there. She had to be a mom and a father. And of course, that's not easy. So, you know, shout out to her because she did everything. Like, I love my mom so much for that. And I'm very grateful for her. And, I still talk to my dad here and there. Like, we're cool. I don't have any resentment towards him. Like he's my father at the end of the day. What's that Tyler song? Shout out to my mother and my father didn't pull out. Like, thank God because damn, you wouldn't be having this podcast. You know what I mean? So yeah, I'm grateful for my dad, but saying that can be a bit difficult because he didn't really do much for me growing. Well, not if he didn't do anything for me growing up. So it's like, but at the same time, you gotta respect your parents, even though it may not be the way you want it to be. At the end of the day, it's your parents, and it's something I had to live with. At that point, they were going through some demons, and obviously, my parents are young. Well, my mom is young, and my father he was like in his 20s. So of course, like I'm in my 20s now, and I'm thinking, okay, you know what? You can kind of understand because, well, in your 20s, life is just weird, and of course, like you have that pressure, you have that money you need to make, you have that bill that you need to pay. Like there's so much in your 20s that is like very uncontrollable, and you don't know what's going on. So, you know, I can kind of understand why it was like that, but at the same time, I'm like, how? But then you realize that because you've gone through that, you could either be a victim or be like, okay, now that I've seen that or it's impacted me, I'm not going to do that for my kids in the future or for my future partner because, bro, being there for your children is so important. That's why I like seeing my nephews very important because I can't miss out on the moments of him walking or crawling. Like I don't want to miss out on that. They're too precious. So yeah, shout out to Pops, but shout out to Pops. This may have been a very personal podcast, but I think that may be it with my like origin story. We're just being creating content for over 2 years now, and we're just gonna keep going. I don't really know what I'm doing, but we're still here. We dropped perspective and we sold out on the large, mediums. Like we're doing, I mean, small and a large. We're selling. We literally sold out. So yeah, to say that we've done that, thank you because it's not easy, but we're here, and I'm very grateful because it means a lot to me and for every single person that's tapped in, bro. It really does mean a lot to me because it's not easy. Yet we will always find a way to grow and just to rebuild and to graft because that's what matters. So yeah, any single person that's tapping into the podcast, thank you. To go into the more fitness side of the pod, I am running the Manchester Marathon 2026. My boy can't do it no more, so he gave me his his ballot or whatever you call it, and we're running the 2026 marathon in Manchester. It's crazy because I was actually thinking like we haven't done a competition this year. We've taken a year off, and now that we've taken a year off, we need to actually get ourselves back in there, and it's perfect. It's really perfect, and yeah, we're gonna do the Manchester Marathon. It's in how many weeks? 18? 18 weeks, I think. Yeah, it's in 18 weeks because it's on April 19th on a Sunday. And yeah, we're gonna get it going. The practicing or the journey with that starts very soon. The long miles are gonna start very soon. Doing 31k miles per week. Yay. Yay. The thought of that makes me sick, but I love running and it's about time we actually put it to the test and do a proper marathon. I'll be honest though, with my knee, we need to take proper care of it because it's been bugging me and it's not nice, but we're gonna get it going and we're gonna do this marathon and I really don't know what time to get. All I know is that we're gonna practice and we're gonna stay disciplined because this is important. It's our first proper marathon. We did a half marathon and now we're gonna get a proper one. And let next year be a year of competition. Let next year be a year of traveling. I've got this goal and we're gonna get it going. We're gonna go to Australia. We're gonna go to the World Cup in America. And going to Australia is therefore happening. When you have your friend that lives in different countries, but you can just go there. But like do those little things like travel out Tokyo, it's happening and just get yourself out there, go to different places, travel the world. I've always had this dream of traveling the world, and especially while I'm reading the book Shoe Dog. At the age of 24, Phil Knight was going to all these different countries. If he didn't go to Athens in Greece, he wouldn't have found out that the Tower of Nike is because of that. He wouldn't have got the name Nike, even though it was from his friend, but it wouldn't have had that resemblance because there's a tower in Athens called Nike, and the Nike is one of the kings. So it just makes perfect sense. You know what I mean? Like it really does make sense. Like traveling, you really get inspiration of different people, different places, and different environments. So get yourself out there and travel, and don't be stuck in a system doing something you don't like. Get yourself out there and just roam around, like just live. Life is so precious and you should not miss it for working a job they don't like. Of course, it's tough and it's challenging because it's not always going to be easy, but when you do something that you love, bro, it just makes everything worth it and there's nothing that I could change. Of course, if anything that I could change is what would I change? I don't know what I would change, but yeah, like having that one thing that you love to do is what makes things worth it. Like get yourself out there, bro. Set yourself them goals and just live it because it's all worth it. It really is all worth it. And while you're getting yourself out there, talk to your friends, talk to your people. Like you're not alone in this world. Whatever you're going through, there's someone out there that's gone through that problem. So speak to your people, like bro, speak to your people and get them essentials. Yesterday, I spent quite a lot of money, unexpected. Well, not a lot, but I spent quite a bit of shillings just to get some essentials. 3 white tees, like plain white tees, socks, boxers, perfume, and earrings. What else? I think that's it. But you've got to get your essentials because if you look good, you feel good, and the world starts to look at you differently. I don't know if that's just me, but the world looks at you a bit different in that aspect. But yeah, get them essentials and get yourself out there because it's important to just focus on your looks and just yourself because that is not gonna come back. You need to focus on yourself and just make sure you're looking the best, the most dapper you can. Clean your wardrobe. I did that today, and my wardrobe is clean. Like I'm that type of guy that would do it in color coordination. Maybe a bit OCD, but I'll happily do that. I'll do my wardrobe in color coordination. Like I'll do whatever I can because when you look at it and it looks fresh, there's no better feeling. There's no better feeling. But yeah, honestly, get that stuff going. Clean your wardrobe because when you like just put things in your drawer and it just over time it just starts to look clunky. Like you gotta fix that because it's really the way your mind will look and you will chuck away the things that are not needed because although I like to keep stuff, I don't like to hold on to things for too long because it's the past. Like just move on. Like move the fuck on. But I understand when people want to keep things because it's a chapter part of their life that they want to cling to. It's that memory. But sometimes you just gotta let it go because when you let that go, something new will appear. The power of the mind works. You gotta move forward. Stop looking back, and that's something that I got to process. And with that, I'm gonna do some word of encouragement. Less is more. Focus on the less because doing too much makes things a bit too clunky in your life. For example, your bedroom, mate. Sort your stuff out, sort your room, do that thing, have that plan, but be strategic, but not do too much. You don't need to do too much. One little thing per day will get you going. That 1% will have you going. You don't need to start in January. You can start that now. You can start that today. You can start whatever you want today, little by little, and just keep it going because you're meant for this. You are gifted, and you're a gift that you're meant to be using your gift for the world. Like, use that because this time is not coming back. So, yeah, I hope that you're going to continue to just grow and to learn that less is more. You don't need to be doing the most craziest things. You don't need to look at what Jackie or Jonah, whatever them people are doing. Like, look at yourself. Whatever you want to do, take research of other people, what other people are doing that you want to see yourself doing, and just use it in your own way. And always listen to your feeling, your gut, but as well be logical sometimes because when it's like creatively, you gotta listen to your feeling. I think that's what matters the most. When you do too much logically or use too much of your intellect, it doesn't work well. When you use that feeling, bro, it will take you far. So yeah, do it. Do whatever you want to do and live it. Less is more because this life is precious and the most the most expensive that you can lose is your focus. So don't lose it. Of course, it's gonna be common for you to just lose track, of course. But as long as you realize that and get yourself back up, you're thriving. Listen to good music and get yourself out there because why not? Life is too short. And that is episode 46 of the Perspective Podcast. I thank you for listening. What more things would you like to see with this episode? Because we're nearly coming to the year approach of the podcast and we're going to keep things going. So let me know what else you want to see for the episodes. I hope you guys are good and taking care of yourself. And I'll see you guys next time.